woman. There's no doubt you're an attractive woman. You act like a woman. Does it not mess with your own mind and your own psyche when you get undressed and everything is about you as a woman and you still have a penis?
Yeah, I will admit and say that I am kind of like, I will admit, I'm not, it is something that is kind of like I get a little ashamed. I ain't even gonna lie. I'll be like, I don't want people seeing that, you know? So yeah, I do. It'd be like weird. It is kind of weird for my own self because I feel weird. And that's why, honestly, when I am sexually with guys, I always hide myself. And then I have a lot of dudes that be like, stop, you ain't got to do all that. You good.
Hold on. Stop there. What do you mean you hide yourself? Be specific.
I hide. I stay tucked most of the time when I'm with a man. And
okay, so I gotta ask you this. And you're no longer on the pills you spoke about earlier, which one of the side effects is, for lack of a better way to put it, you weren't able to get erect.
The sexual
Correct.
Pleasure. Yeah.
Today, are you able to get erect during intercourse?
Mm-hmm, yeah, I'm able to feel my feeling now, but you know, when I'm usually having intercourse with a man, I'm usually in doggy style position, or you know, that's the favorite position with me. But I, you know, tend to just kind of get off when I'm giving them head. So then when that time,
this transgender that kind of made it out, y'all know her from, of course, going against Chingy. Back in the day, of course, posting a picture, and you know, she's been on Love and Hip Hop, I think. She's been on a few other shows. But as y'all noticed, she, of course, recently got arrested for, you know, a lot of bad things to a minor. From the details that's come out, she was in Atlanta at a hotel. She was arrested at the hotel where social media people went up and put pictures out and videos of her out. Showing her, of course, going basically, you know, essaying a 13-year-old boy. She didn't know the boy was 13. She, you know, just, it's all bad. They say when the police actually pulled her over, they found a condom, an unused condom, out the wrapper falling out of her jeans. And I'm like, man, what the hell did she have? Sidney Starr to come out to Real Life Street Stars. She actually wasn't booked by Real Life Street Stars. In the past, she was booked by a lady who's been on Real Life Street Star by the name of Genesis. She was booked for a panel to have a discussion of, I forgot what the discussion was about. I think it was about social media influencers getting together talking about social media influencing. To go down the list of charges, I'm gonna read it out to you guys if y'all haven't heard. I'm just giving my reaction to it, just knowing who the person is. Let's go and get to it. I do feel like Sidney Starr is guilty because Sidney Starr, you know, she goes city to city, like, and I don't want to call it OnlyFans, but kind of like an escort. She goes city to city. She'll post that she's in the city. She'll actually name her prices, like, hey, if y'all try to come to this hotel, here's my price. And if you ever seen her content, if ever you follow her on Instagram, she'll be posting that she's in a room with a random. Like, she'll post that she's in a room with random. I know she had a pretty big relationship with Eddie Winslow from Family Matters. That in itself was on and off again. He ended up, you know, confessing. First he said they were friends, and then he ended up confessing his love for her. Then he bought her sex change, you know, operation, along with some few purses. So I believe he actually likes the girl, man. I believe he loves her spirit. I don't know, whatever that is. You know, Hollywood's a different place.
That has to be expected, especially if he knows you're pre-op.
Right. But even back in the day when I wasn't open, I've talked about this before and I ain't proud of that, but I used to have sex with guys and would trick them. I would tell them I was on my, you know, period. And they would just, you know, have, you know, anal sex with me and they didn't know a thing still. It's guys that have told me they didn't saw me while they was in jail. They watched me on TV while they were in jail. I've had so many of that. I've had so many guys tell me they watched me on Love and Hip Hop in jail. And they were like, damn, that's a trans. I remember one guy, he was like, I kept saying to myself, damn, that's a trans? He said he kept saying that because I was very vocal about being trans when I was on Love and Hip Hop. And there are some guys that hit me up and was like, I just was like, they would say, when I get out of jail, I'm going to find you. I'm going to hit you up and find you. And it's been dudes that hit me up while they're still in jail on the DMs.
Wow.